About 16 seconds. We are Sacramento's #1 community radio station, 97.5 KDEE. This show is sponsored by Highlands Community Charter School. If you're 22 years or older without a high school diploma, it's where you ought to be. Not only will they help you earn your high school diploma, they'll help you find a career pathway. And my partner, Mike Ressler, will tell you what it costs. Mike, what does it cost to do all this?
There's absolutely no cost. Zero.
916-844-2283 is the number. 916-844-2283. If you're 22 years or older, you can change your life starting right now, right, Mike?
Yes, call right now. It's an unbelievable program. Again, there's no cost. If somebody would like to come back and earn their high school diploma, whether they're 22, 32, 42, 52, 62 years old, they can do that. And we're open. We're open. We're providing education a little bit differently right now, but we're getting close to being back on campus. Of course, safe and sound. We want to ensure our students are safe and sound, but we're getting close to being back on campus. And I think a lot of students they want to come back and they want to learn amongst their peers. Now, their peers will be a little bit smaller in size this time because of the social distance.
Well, what I love about Highlands is we get to have any conversation we want to on this program because of Highlands. They take care of this program for a year and they let us have whatever conversation we want to have. No holds barred.
Yeah, 52 weeks a year. Doc Smith, our executive director, has been very open about the fact that, hey, listen, you go do the show. It's never too late. It's never too late to do a lot of things.
Right.
In our case, it's never too late to graduate. But in life, it's never too late to do many things.
Right. And so today, Mike, last week we had an opportunity on
the Inclusivity Project.
Yes. Today we have a whole nother opportunity on. And Melanie, Uzoma, thank you all. Did I do it right?
Close enough.
Uzoma. Is it Uzoma?
Uzoma. You got it right.
Uzoma. I'm gonna get it right.
But hey, Jay, what I'd like to do, and I just from the first couple of minutes, can you not bring anybody on that has a great radio voice like that? I mean, that's super.
He does have radio voice.
He does.
But he also got that voice with that.
So what I love about Melanie and Uzoma is they're engineers. And we sit on the Small Business Council board for DGS and High Speed Rail together.
We do.
Me and Melanie. And from the first time I met Melanie, I knew she was the confidence, the understanding of, because when you talk about high speed rail and just all of the moving parts, and we have to spend $191 million a month to keep up with the high speed rail, and we're not doing it. We're not meeting the challenge because there are certain parameters as it relates to disadvantaged businesses that have to be met, and they're not able to do it. They're not able to keep up with it. But what I knew from the council meetings was that a lot of the stuff that was over my head, I didn't have to worry about it because Melanie understood exactly what they were talking about. And so I had somebody there that could literally break it down,
She was your translator.
in a lot of ways, yeah,
She's
very smart. And so they were talking to me about, they said, Jay, we got these opportunities. We got these business opportunities. We got jobs. And I said, you got jobs? I said, we got jobs. And I said, then you need to come on. It's never too late.
Right.
And that's why they're here. And so I just said that about Melanie because she sits on these boards with me, but Uzoma is also equally as smart. And that's why they're a great team, husband and wife. and they have done great work in one of the few African American companies that are getting contracts.
Yeah, we're excited about it. And as a small business advocate, we want to get more minority-owned small businesses on those large-scale contracts. It's life-changing.
Absolutely. That's really a mission, and the timing is so perfect for there's a lot of money out there, there's a lot of projects out there, there's a lot of opportunity out there, and it's really just getting exposure to it, because I know there's a lot of people that are hungry for those opportunities. So really putting the meat with the potatoes is kind of what we're here to do.
Now, I had a guy, I was meeting today with a guy named Jay Sharma. Jay Sharma is an IT guy, Indian guy, who I introduced him to the city manager today. And in my head, I'm thinking, wow, maybe I should have made sure that Jay Sharma was meeting you all. Because we have all these different moving parts, and I don't know how IT works into all this, but I'm thinking to some degree, because everything is so technological now, right? Maybe I should make sure that when before this is all said and done, that I connect you with Jay Sharma.
Absolutely. We love connections and we love expanding our network and helping others do the same. So absolutely.
Jay, let me just say this. I've worked with Caltrans. I've been on, worked with Caltrans on trying to assist small businesses do business with Caltrans. And it's not easy for the small business owner off the street to come in and say, I want to do work with Caltrans, but I don't know how to.
Well, it's not, but that's why we have the council. The DBE, the disadvantaged business enterprise, the DBVEs for disabled vets, and all these different things come in play because they're trying. That's what they're trying to do. That's how
Yes.
Melanie has been able to navigate. And so, Melanie, first, I just want to know what kind of business opportunities are out there that you all are connected to that we can get out to the community?
It's an exciting time, I think, especially because you have to really think outside the box and be adaptive to the changes that are going on. And we're here to talk about today exciting opportunities in the energy sector to broaden participation in that arena, specifically for individuals in low and disadvantaged or economically disadvantaged communities. And we're excited to talk about those types of opportunities, the opportunities that we have to train and upskill those individuals and also mentor and provide networking opportunities and hopefully job placement.
So maybe I can give a little bit of landscape and then we can hop into a bit of the specific opportunity with the Energy Bearing program. But we're by and large, we are in commercial facilities. That's a big part of our portfolio is operation and maintenance of commercial facilities, whether that be hospitals, data centers, arenas, stadiums, any type of commercial facility that you go out to interact with and leave. So, and the energy savings, the energy usage, first of all, for these facilities is extremely large. Therefore, the energy savings is a really, really important aspect of operating and maintaining these facilities. So getting people into that world, really into the commercial facilities world and the saving energy for them is a huge opportunity for them career-wise and really gives them an important position in the organization that they want to work for. So
Okay, so what are the opportunities? Where are we? Tell me what we have laid out for us.
Absolutely. So we're excited to partner with the Sacramento Promise Zone Community Collaborative. It's a collaborative with many different partners, but specifically with SMUD, the Golden One Center, the Sacramento Black Chamber of Commerce, Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency, and the Sacramento Promise Zone Initiative. And we're implementing a workforce development training program called the Energy Bearing Program. This program essentially places an individual in a facility to help lower the energy usage of that facility, but also at the bottom line is to help them save money.
absolutely. And, even with the best technology, even with the best control systems, even with can be done to reduce energy on a day in and day out basis to reduce the energy bill and add value to a company's portfolio. So by going through our energy bearing training program, and I'll talk a little bit about the specifics of the program, the timeline and implementation, but really going through that program, you're coming out not only exposed to some of the best trainers in the nation with regards to energy management. You're getting exposure to the actual employers of people in that field. And you're coming out with a wealth of knowledge and tools that will really help you get into that field as a professional moving forward.
How do I get in the program? What do I do? Do I have to qualify in some way? Do I need some type of schooling? What qualifies me for this program?
Age, all of it.
Absolutely. So we have a basic set of requirements. We'd like participants to be 18 years or older, reside or live, work in Sacramento Promise Zone zip code, and also have.
Okay, because I want to slow down each
Sure.
of them. So 18 or older. So when you say a Promise Zone zip code, tell us what that means, because we can't assume that people just know. So what zip code is the Promise Zone zip code?
Absolutely. So these are federally designated areas within Sacramento that have quite a few criteria that they meet, but more importantly, they're economically disadvantaged.
Right. So I'm saying, what zip codes are they? Do you know the zip codes that are?
One that I grew up in, 95823.
95823.
Areas such as the Del Paso, Marysville zip code.
95838.
Yes,
Oak Park.
Oak Park, South Sacramento, the Paso Heights area, City Heights area.
So I just want people to get a sense. Okay, so now, and then what's the next criteria?
participants should have a GED or a high school diploma.
Okay. So you gotta have you can have a GED, high school diploma, but if you don't have a GED, if I'm trying to get my GED, I can't do it until I actually have it.
Here's one of the things we want you to do. We want you to work with Mike to do that.
Yeah, I was
Right.
just thinking the same thing.
Absolutely.
And-
Absolutely.
And we also have a list of graduates that have just graduated. We have graduations twice a year. So we have a list of graduates that could, first of all, they qualify. They're over 18. They have a high school diploma. They've earned that. Now if they're not working, we could certainly turn them on, give them the opportunity to work with.
How
you.
many people in the program? How many people?
The first cohort is up to 15.
Okay.
And
How
then-
many do you have so far?
So currently we have 5 accepted into the program.
So we're looking for 10.
We're looking for 10, and we're looking for more than 10 too, Jay. And that's why we're here, because we know that you're a great connector and a partner in the community.
So what number do they call? How do they find out? How do, if I, and then I want you to give a description of what.
Absolutely. Go directly to www.eco-alpha.com/Energy Baron Program.
Energy Bearing Program.
It's right there on our
BARRING.
BARON
Oh,
program. You can go right.
Baron. Energy Baron. BARON.
BARON, Energy Bear.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And go directly to our website, www.eco-alpha.com. It's the first program that you'll see.
Okay. Do you have a phone number that I can call?
Absolutely, 916-945-3604.
916-945-3604. 916-945-3604. And now that I have that stuff, because I'm gonna come back, I need you to tell me again, because I'm excited, right? And I just heard it. I'm telling all my partners, man, I'm gonna go get a job. I just found a job. I'm listening to it on the radio, but now I need to know what the job is. So tell me, what am I learning to do?
Well, we're excited too, and because we do a lot of training. We're really excited about this one because it's a community and it's a workforce development one. We train a lot of people who are already in the industry, but for this program, we're bringing people in and saying, okay, we're going to turn you into these energy barons. And what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis, what you're going to learn in the training is you're going to learn about utility tariffs. You're going to learn how utility rates work in the commercial sector, whether that be energy demand, peak demand, super peak demand. You're going to learn how SMUD and PG&E bill. You're going to learn energy management best practices. You're going to learn how to do energy audits.
Wow.
Yeah, you're really going to take a lot of skills.
And how long does it take? How long will this program last?
This is an 8-week program. It starts April the 10th,
Okay.
every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's robust. And so when we get in there with our trainers, we really love what we do. And so it's rigorous as well. And that's something that is a staple of our program. And I just love it.
Now, do I get paid for doing it?
So the training is free. You know what? You get paid in your time spent
Right.
learning and upskilling yourself in the workforce. It is a free training provided by the Sacramento from. So
Now, if I go through all this training, I'm gonna let you ask, I'm sorry, Mike, but if I go through all this training, am I guaranteed a job?
what you're guaranteed is the opportunity to meet with employers who are looking to hire. And so, as you know, when that happens, they're getting a pick of the litter when they come through this particular program. They've identified this program as one that they would like to recruit from, and we're excited about it as well.
A couple questions. So you may train somebody to be ready to roll. Now, they may not be the most polished when it comes to interviewing and resume. Do you help them with that?
Specifically in the 6-week training where we talk about career development, and we focus on that. So we focus on bringing in individuals that are going to talk about careers in the facilities industry, but also what the industry is looking for, what we would like to see on that resume, the type of skills that we're looking for, and really how to refine your
Right.
current resume, because one of the criteria is that you submit to us a cover letter, also a resume, and 3 references. So we have your resumes, we have the ability to go through there, see what some gaps might be, and help you improve on that.
And so when somebody gets placed and they're a great candidate and they get hired, what's a typical day look like? Because when you talk about energy, they're going to learn about how SMUD and PGA bills. How does that translate to a day-to-day position?
Fantastic question. So they're going to be interacting with building owners, property managers, utility points of contact, facilities engineers, and they're going to be making essentially energy management plans for that facility based on the equipment type that they have there, based on the energy bill and the energy usage. And they're going to say, okay, based on the types of equipment you have here, the types of operations that we're doing at this building, they're coming and going people. These are my recommendations on the day in and day out basis of what we're going to do. We're going to reduce the HVAC usage, the lighting, the water.
I was just going to ask you about the light bulbs,
Right.
the lighting, automatic timers for when people leave the room, 30 seconds later the light goes off. Those, I mean, it's just kind of the
Those are the
efficiency,
types-
right?
Efficiency, and then marrying those to the operational needs of the actual site themselves. Because a lot of times you have efficiency things that you want to do, but you really have to understand and be ingrained in the organization day to day to really get them done.
And I would think that if you're not a forward-thinking business, you're not even thinking about this efficiency stuff. But if you're a forward-thinking business and you think, well, how can we afford to bring on a position? And you're probably saying, how can you afford not to?
You hit the nail on the head, and really, it's we're striving to make this really a cost neutral program for the employers. When you're going, it's a really attractive thing to go through this program and to be able to, whether you get employed through the program or you take it and get employed out, to be able to go to somebody and say, hey, I'm going to drive down your bill such that I don't really cost you much, or I pay for myself.
So give me a raise.
So this is a 8-week program, 4 hours a Saturday, from 9 to 1.
From 9 to 1.
So really, it's 8 Saturdays.
Yes.
And so I just want people to kind of get a grip. When we say 8 weeks, it's not like 8 full weeks. It's just one day out of each week for 8 weeks at 4 hours a day. You're going to be trained.
That's an excellent question, and I'll give you the answer to that in a second. But I also just want to say the tailoring of when the classes are and how they are structured, because not only is that the genius of putting together programs with the structure, that's all intentional, make it as easy as possible for somebody to come in. But you can start off in the energy sector making anywhere from $17 to $20 an hour, all the way up to $150,000 a year. So it really is a career path opportunity for you.
Wow. You're tuned into 97.5 KDEE. We are Sacramento's #1 community radio station. My name is Jay King. Mike Wrestler's in the building.
What's up, Jay?
What's happening with you? And this is Never Too, sponsored by Highlands Community Charter School. If you're 22 years or older without a high school diploma, it's where you ought to be. Not only will they help you earn your high school diploma, they'll help you find a career pathway. It doesn't cost you a dime, just time and effort. Same as with this program that we're talking about. 916-844-2283 is the number. 916-844-2283 is the number. You can start as early as right now today. It's never too late to get your life in order. And we're bringing every opportunity that we can to you. Today is taking advantage of opportunity. This is an advantage. An opportunity I hope you all take advantage of. If you want to call in, if you have questions, 916-921-5333. It's the calling number, 916-921-5333. We will be right back. All right, anybody with questions, anybody?
Thanks.
Hey, Erica. Hey, our high-speed rail property acquisition was one of the projects that I reviewed for approval on a state California 10 years ago. Yeah. So tell me what you got to cover on this next.
I want to ask you about if there are people currently working now, may not be that happy in their work. What work currently would lead into would help them with future employment opportunities with this training?
Yeah, we'd love
Okay.
to answer that question.
Okay.
And that's where it's going. If you're, start off your life path, you went and got you, but you might be at, Walmart or Starbucks.
Right.
You're looking to, I need to make a change. Or we had a guy the other day that called us. He's actually working for a union, but he's working construction. It's really hard work on the body. And he's like, I know I have a mind for something. I want to get to something where I'm using my brain all day.
Is having a construction background help at all?
It does with the translation. So if you're working around trades, you're working around light bulbs.
Yeah.
You're working around people that are installing stuff. So somebody says, actuator, you know what the word means. So
Right.
somebody says, so it translates really well to energy management.
So you guys are tough about it. They can't miss a Saturday if they've had too good of a time. I think anybody needs that if they're trying to kind of redirect their career or redirect their pathway. They do that. That's good. We had 125 people graduate in January. We have 200 coming up in June or July, the 1st of July. So there's always people coming in. We could probably feed you a whole bunch of them, I would guess.
That's our ask. The goal is to make this cohort a successful cohort.
How many cohorts are you
Yes.
going to have?
This is, first cohort will end in June, the second will start in July.
Perfect.
For this program, yeah.
And to your point about the graduate, they're all excited. You want to keep the momentum going,
They can walk into some additional training.
Yeah.
Now the greatest thing, at some point, it'd be cool to be able to train some of our students while they're working towards getting on that stage to graduate. So when they leave with the diploma, they also have this training behind them. Now you can just put them to work because they're not 18, and these people are 35 years old and ready to roll.
Exactly.
With a job or that might turn into a career that they could go home and brag to their parents about or their kids about. This
Exactly.
kids.
Yeah, you can be proud of it. It has that feel of saving the world too. But I'm also,
Because this is really going towards that green economy, right? Energy efficient.
it is. And these energy bills, they're paying huge energy bills. It's very practical too, which is what a lot of energy efficiency programs are good.
So what would they do when they're done with the program? So that's what I want to ask you. When they're done with the program, I want to know what they do. What is their job?
So we got an energy bear in this program. More I see about 50 offices where nobody's in with lights on. Their program would say, okay, we're going to put sensors in these buildings, shut those off. There's the HVAC running for those. We're going to optimize the control system, work with the engineering team to do that. Okay, let's look at your energy bill. Okay, the energy bill, most people don't know this. It's actually a negotiation as well. It's not written in blood. You go there and say, hey, we haven't used that much energy. Can you lower the rate?
But it's not as simple as to Jay's question. It's not as simple as somebody going off to every office and turning light switches
No,
off. Right?
That would help, but no,
Yes.
that actually would help. But it is creating that plan and being essentially the energy hall monitor for your building.
So the building, not for so for my business, I wouldn't need an energy baron.
You would, because as a tenant, you're paying into that energy cost, whether you know
Right.
it or not.
I do, but I'm saying, but why do I need an energy baron if he's gonna go through once or twice, and we're gonna figure out what the deal is, and we won't.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You have to have because I've been buildings for 20 years, even at the end, you have to have somebody doing it on a day-to-day basis, making those micro changes every day if you actually.
Let's just say I'm spending $1,000 a month in energy. why would why am I hiring somebody?
Well, we're talking about commercial facilities. You
That's
gotta-
what I'm saying, that's what I said, for me, it would.
There's a business that's too small that wouldn't reap the
Right,
benefits.
Right.
But if you're going into the person that
But-
owns this
building,
building,
Yeah. it's like
That would be- yeah.
50 or 200 grand a month.
Right.
Then it's different.
Yeah, so we're talking about an economy of scale here, which is
Got it.
why we focus on arenas.
And that's where that guy would work at, or
Yeah.
that's where that person would. Okay.
Exactly.
So I want to make that point.
Highs are golden
So
bond.
I want, so this is why, see, you guys have to act like we don't know nothing, because we don't. But because you guys see the whole picture, you know, you talk about it from the whole picture. I don't know the whole picture. So you got to tell me, they're going to go through these programs. These are the kind of jobs they can get. These are the kind of businesses that they can work in. And then, you know, how many of these jobs are available in Sacramento? Are there any, do I have to go outside of Sacramento to work at these jobs, or are there energy barons already at the Golden
and would they
One?
be hired as an energy baron, or would they call it something different at something, you know?
So am I making sense? Are we
You're
making
making
sense?
perfect sense. Boy, look at it, I like you. So,
So Mike, man, you're gonna go back and forth with you about just to understand it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say, I mean, like, I want to kind of picture
I'm saying
what this
when
looks like.
when we open up, that's what we're gonna come back to, just me and you talking about what it, you know, the whole energy baron thing, you know,
and like what
yeah, what it is. Welcome back to It's Never Too Late, sponsored by Highlands Community Charter School. If you're 22 years or older without a high school diploma, it's where you ought to be. Not only will they help you earn your high school diploma, they will help you find a career pathway. It does not cost you a dime.
Yeah, no cost at all. And you know, some of the things, you know, we're talking about career pathways right now, and some of the career paths that Highlands offers, truck driving, which there's not enough truck drivers in California or the United States, right? There's a shortage of Class A
Wow,
drivers.
really?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, so if you have your high school diploma, you have your Class A, yeah, you know, the Indeed.com looks very, very attractive to you, because you can put in Class A driver Sacramento, and there's pages and pages and pages of
Wow.
employment opportunities
I didn't know that.
for them. And so, yeah, I mean, we have early childhood education, medical assisting, blue collar areas
Mhm.
that some people love. And so, Jay, we're talking about energy barons today.
Right. So Mike, so when they say energy baron, you know, I didn't know, I never heard the term before.
No, we didn't even know it was baron, right?
Right. I thought it said bearing, energy bearing.
And
Right.
so, and it makes sense on a big picture, but you know, Jay, you and I are like, well, we need to know more of this.
Right.
Like, tell us more.
Well, you know, when they said energy baron, you know, so now I'm trying to put wrap my head around what I do as an energy baron. What am I doing? What's my job, right? And so, Uzoma, I'm like, you know, if I have an energy baron here at the chamber, they're only gonna work for a week or two, and then their jobs are gonna be over with, because they would have saved me money, and you know, and
not, so that's an excellent question. So that's why this, to notice, we're a pretty good, there's an economy of scale, and that's why we're really looking at commercial buildings of a certain size to place the energy there. That if you go down any of the lettered streets downtown Sacramento, J Street, look left, look right, any of those large buildings are paying anywhere, you know, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands.
and that's where energy barons work.
That's where energy
And-
buildings, large buildings.
And what do energy barons do? What is their job at that building? What are you training them to do?
We're training them to look at every day, create energy management plans, and make sure everybody in the building is adhering to that energy management plan, whether that be LED lighting retrofits, reducing energy usage, reducing HVAC usage, optimizing control systems, working with the SMUD or the PG&E utility rep. Say, okay, we're looking at, we didn't actually use that much energy, so let's see what we can do as far as the rates. Can we lower this here? So it's really a dynamic day in, day out. My job when I show up is to reduce the energy for this person.
So you're saying, Because I think most of us, when we get our SMUD bill, we think, okay, we get a SMUD bill, we pay our SMUD bill. But you're saying different.
Well, if your small bill's 200 grand, and, and you're gonna pay somebody a few grand to come in and lower that by 10 to 15%, they more than pay. So it becomes fiscally a good idea for you as a building
Right.
owner to have this person there every day.
Because as a building owner, you now have, even if you had 2 or 3 people, that is their job for the time that this building is open, to make sure that energy is being conserved, that we have the proper lighting, LED lighting, that everything, that everything is working, that it's, that we're in compliance with the program that we have in place.
Exactly. And there's a lot of ancillary benefit to that too as well. It's just like your car, if you run it less, it's gonna last longer. Not just the direct money cost from the fund, but if you're running your building less based on its actual energy needs, everything's gonna last longer. Those are all your assets.
It's the call-in number for anybody who has a question. And because I just kind of feeling that the conversation is a bit over their heads, because it's a bit over mine when it
Sure.
comes to, so I really want to, trying to get us, because we're talking to engineers.
Well,
You
there
know,
you have
and
it, Jay.
so,
And scientists.
and science, yes, and a scientist. So, so we're trying to get the engineer, scientist mind frame to come down to where we can understand it. This is a new opportunity because the world is changing.
Yes.
And in a changing world, jobs change. And you guys really, it seems like you guys are on the beginning parts of a job, like you said, that might start off paying $17 to $20 an hour. But you become so efficient at this thing, you can make $150,000 a year. How is that?
Well, to your point, I'm just gonna bounce off of what you said and bring it home. It costs a lot of money to run a big building. If you own a big building, you're paying a big energy bill. And when somebody comes to you and says, okay, and there's HR people working, there's marketing people, there's lawyers, there's nobody in a lot of these buildings, or any of them really, saying my job is to lower the energy for that building. So that's what we're producing. We're producing people whose job that is. And when we have this energy hall monitor, somebody who's dedicated job day in and day out do it, you're gonna save a lot of money.
Well, and day in and day out, again, and I joke about it, but it's not the guy or girl running up and down the hallway turning off lights. It's really more about a long-term vision and advocating every day and in meetings to talk about the conservation of energy.
So what's your 8-week program? Who are the companies that are going to hire me? Who's interested in me right now?
So here's our vision. I want to take a step back. So our vision is to meet the needs of what we see is an industry need for energy management in facilities, but also it's a societal need. So there are impacts to climate and changes and sustainability, that the sustainability goals that our clients want to be able to meet. So we want to be able to either hire or place energy barons throughout energy usage, but also for long-term sustainability energy goals. So some of those potential employers might be one, Eco Alpha, right? Sitting right here in front of you. The second employer might be hospitals, universities, academic institutions, individuals or financial institutions with large complexes. So there's an opportunity not just to think about sort of the economic impacts of bringing on an energy baron, but long-term sustainability of your asset that you're trying to preserve and conserve in the future.
So in this cohort, there's going to be 15 people that go through. What percentage of them do you think will actually get hired? And I know you can't predict, but I'm saying, give me a round number of what you think, a good guesstimation of who, what.
I think in any training program, a good aggressive number would be initially 50%.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of factors that are going to affect whether or not a team participant gets hired or not. And at the end of the day, if you're an employer, it comes down to a number of different requirements, right? But we want to be aggressive aggressive in that we want to support our trainees for job placement. And we want to make sure that they're skilled enough in order to meet the needs of the employers.
Have you secured any commitments from large building owners to, hey, listen, we like what you're doing. When you train them, we will hire them.
We're in the process of talking with individuals and companies that are looking to bring on energy barons. And some of those companies right now will be a part of the Energy Baron guest speaker program.
Okay.
And now, did you guys come up with the idea of Energy Baron, or is that something that was already out?
That's the brainchild of Uzoma, so I'll let him talk about that.
No, it's a ecological collaborative original. We have a slew of original programs, and it's one of them. And every one of yeah, they need this, you know. And to your point about job placement, a lot of energy programs where the differentiator is that we're not just training them, we're training them with the idea, okay, what is going to make sense for somebody to hire. So the Energy Baron program is really somebody, again, there's a lot of energy savings benefit, there's a lot of workforce development benefit, but we really took into account the cost and the fact that they're paying for themselves, so that it would be attractive to employers, so that we could set aggressive goals and say, hey, employers come in, now the employers are going to meet the people after they've been trained. There's a process there. We employ people as well. That's why we're being conservative, but we do really feel like this is going to be excellent for job placement as well afterwards.
Let me ask you about maybe some validation for the large building owners. Have you done any case studies where you go in and listen, we spent 2 months with this building owner and through our Energy Baron program, and boy, I can show you the savings based on that.
Well, the great thing about the work that we do is that we're in the field,
Right.
right? So we've been in business since 2013, and all of our buildings are essentially case studies. But specifically to answer your question, we implemented a high performance building engineering program back in 2018 across a portfolio of state-owned buildings, and we were able to do just that. We were able to go in and use these facilities as case studies and facility tours, analyze and do audits and checks on these facilities, and really provide them with recommendations and best management practices moving forward in the future. So these are true case studies for the design and the development of the Energy Baron program.
So it's been battle tested. We trained a bunch of bodies between Sacramento all the way down to Southern California, LA, and it worked.
Do they have Energy Barons in those buildings?
Not currently, but that's the vision and that's our goal.
So I mean, because you said that it was a case study, that's your case study. So if it's a case study,
Excellent question. That's why we actually need the Energy Baron program. So we train the stationary engineers that currently work on it. The stationary engineers have other tasks they need to do. They have to do work orders. They're my office supplies. I need to fix this. I'm doing generator work. They have operation maintenance tasks. So they can only pay a certain amount of attention to this very specific shard of what they need to do, which is energy management. But there's so much of it that needs to be done. There's so much money that needs to be saved. You have to have a dedicated person to do it. So we battle tested it with this workforce, but there's still a need for bodies to do it as a dedicated job. So that's why the Energy Baron.
SMUD is one of your partners in this program. Is SMUD going to take on, do you think they'll take on some Energy Baron clients?
SMUD has made a commitment as a community partner to support the Energy Baron program. And they do that in many different ways. So we're still having conversations with all of our partners about bringing on a new workforce and what that means for the community. So they've been supported thus far. And so I'm sure that they'll help support this effort as well.
I have a question for you, Mike.
Sure.
Highlands is a big building. Has
Well, we have a lot of large.
Would an Energy Baron be attractive to a business like?
Well, Jay, we don't own any of our buildings. We lease every one of our buildings. That's
Right, but you pay for the energy coming out of those buildings.
in some of them we do, and in some of them we don't. Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have very large, you know, we have Howe Avenue is, we have Howe,
Now, I'm just wondering if like Grand Avenue, if that would be, if, you know, if that would be a building that would have an energy bearing be.
he's our facilities, director of school services, and he's facilities and maintenance. And so it sounds like this program would fall under somebody like Rich.
Yeah, I just wonder how.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question.
You know, I'm certainly gonna ask Rich when I get
Yeah.
back.
And a cohort, would it be interesting or would it be attractive, Mike, to do a cohort with Highlands Community Charter School?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, again, everybody that has a high school diploma, we call them up and say, would you be interested in some no-cost training that would set you up for opportunity, potential opportunities for this, and this. And I think that's part of, you know, your training, you know, I'm sure you do kind of a lot of orientations on the fly, telling people about this program like you're doing right now. And the selling point for any of these jobs or any potential jobs is, for these trainings, is that there's going to be jobs at the end, of it, just like truck driving, just like medical assisting, so on and so forth.
And you know, I think Highlands would actually be a perfect partner. And having grown up in the city, you know, we want to pull from a slew of educational facilities, whether you're in the Los Rios district, whether you're on the JC, whether you're at Highlands and Pony Lynn, and keep in mind that you're coming out of here, once you get these skill sets, you know that you have these tools. So whether you go in as an energy baron or whether you take that and go into a form of property management, facilities engineering, you now have a tool to sell yourself to all these large buildings that you're driving past.
And when is the cohort closing? You guys said it starts, your program starts in April 10th?
Our program starts April the 10th. The application deadline closes on March 31st.
Okay, so let me get you guys right now. Let me get you guys numbers. Again, if you want to find out about the cohort, if you want to find out about the energy bearing program, the number is 916
945 3604.
916 945 3604. Now, I'm in a cruiser. She's in a sports car. That's why it sounds different. 916.
945 3604.
She just went into a cruiser. 945 3604. I just want you guys to take advantage of the opportunity, or you can go to the website at www. Dash, that's the little hyphen in the middle, alpha.com.
ECO-ALPHA.com.
Yeah. And I just want you guys to get it. I want you guys to know it. We want to get you guys as many opportunities as we can in front of you so that you can take advantage of the resources that the radio station puts in front of the
And we
community.
want everybody that this is reaching to take advantage of the opportunity. Really, this is an opportunity for the community. So if you're looking for a program, you're looking to make a change to something that's really high tech, really cutting edge, that can really give you an alternate career path than the one you're on, please check out the website. Please come to the program. Please apply. This is for you.
You're tuned into 97.5 KDEE. We are Sacramento's #1 community radio station. My name is Jay King. Mike Wrestler's in the building. This is Never Too Late, sponsored by Highlands Community Charter. Okay, you guys. All right. So,
Thank you.
yes, sir.
We're excited about it.
We got one last break. And out of here. $97.5. $97.5.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a quick question. Is there an age limit on the opportunities that your guest spoke about?
18 or older.
Okay, so, okay,
Yeah, as long as you're 18
18 and,
and above. If you're 92 and you want to do it, you can do it.
okay, wonderful. Well, thank you. Appreciate you all.
All right, thank you.
Doing a wonderful job.
Thank-
Okay.
That's what the show is called, Never Too Late.
I know, I love it. I love the theme.
Mike, we're going on 2 years.
We are.
This will be 2 years in April. 2 years, it's 2 years this in April.
But we've had some good shows, going
Yeah.
through the whole George Floyd times and then,
Yeah,
some of our issues that we've had with Highlands and the age cap. They're trying to put an age cap on our students.
One of the hardest shows that I've listened to, really like left, and that really digs into it.
Well, Jay likes to dig
I
in deep.
know, I commend you for that.
I just along for the ride.
no,
with Jay.
no, you know what? Because Mike, the good part is that the reason why I can do it is because Mike isn't afraid. And that's the one thing, is having a partner that's gonna take the ride with you. You know,
Well, and we've had a couple of ones call
Yeah.
me out. Like, listen, man,
hey, Michelle.
it's but it's fun, and we're hoping to extend it here, and Jay's going on to doing some other things. Tell him about your other thing you're doing.
Oh, no, I'm going to KFBK starting in April on Sundays.
Okay, awesome. What's the
It's gonna
program
be
over there?
politics and business, really hard hitting politics stuff.
Oh, I can't wait to.
Well, very similar to this, but with a bigger stage, right?
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you're not afraid to say
Well, I can
things.
say a lot of stuff, Like I'm gonna talk about the reparation deal because we're not being honest about it. We got black leaders. If somebody's wronged you, you got to speak to them in a language they understand. Our government owes us a debt for the crime that it committed against us, and we need white people to buy into that notion. And so we got to speak in a language that they understand. So when white people hear the word reparation, the first thing they think is slavery, and I didn't do that. So I want to take them out of that mindset, because I'm not even talking about slavery. I'm talking about post-slavery, when I'm supposed to be free and equal, when I'm supposed to have the same inalienable rights. And the government participates and deny me those rights. And that's why the government has to pay the debt that it owes if it wants to be great for once. If we really want a great country, we got to do things that great people do.
Did you see Evanston, Illinois? Became the first
First
city.
but they $25,000.
Yeah.
That's not. You got to pay me for in 1910, 8 million African Americans collectively owned 15 million acres. In 2021, 43 million African Americans collectively own 1.2 million acres. So what happened? We've lost 98% of our land. How? Because our government participated in crimes against us. The Bureau of Land Management, which was put in place to protect us and protect our land ownership, was the greatest thief of African American land ownership. The Bureau of Land Management. And then you got to remember, in the latter part of the early part of the 1900s, we couldn't have contracts. So when you had slave owners who sold property, they honored their agreement, but to the grandson or granddaughter or son or daughter or whomever, and they say, well, where's your paperwork?
Let me know when that show starts. When it starts this Sunday?
Starts on the 4th.
They only noticed him as soon when I got on the show. They said, "Oh my God, Jay's fantastic."
Welcome back to It's Never Too Late. We are Sacramento's #1 community radio station, 97.5 KDEE. This show is sponsored by Highlands Community Charter School. If you are 22 years or older and you do not have a high school diploma, and the GED is not a high school diploma.
Not at all.
You can get your high school diploma, change your life, find a career pathway, doesn't cost you one nickel, right, Mike?
Yeah, there's no cost and there's really no reason for somebody that really wants to change their life not to pursue their high school diploma. You know, the high school diploma, we all know, is the minimum qualification for any decent, livable wage, meaningful job.
Right.
And so for them not to do that, and you know, we've had, or you talk about, we've had students that have raised their hand when I asked them if they ever lied about having their high school diploma. They raised their hand. And, you know, some were very proud about it, but you know, to not have to do that, not have to live in fear of being tapped on the shoulder and saying, "Listen, you're doing a great job at this job. You've been here for 2 months, but
When I was in junior high school, my mother had never gotten her high school diploma. She had her first child, my sister Terry, my older sister, at 15. I had never met anybody smarter than my mother to this day. My mother read books every day, and she knew something about everything. And she went back to college to become a nurse, and she was killing it. She was at the top of her class. And one day, she gets that tap on her shoulder, and they call her out of class and say, "You don't have a high school diploma. You can't stay in this. You know, you have to drop out." And her teacher says, her professor goes to the dean of the school and says, "Helen should be a doctor. She's smarter than everybody in this classroom, including me. You have to let her finish." And so she had to take her GED in order to finish schooling. But I imagine what my mother could have done had she had the chance to have a proper education. And that's why Highlands becomes such an important part of our community, because there are a lot of brilliant people who weren't treated very well in school.
yeah, no doubt about it. And, you know, people drop out for a lot of different reasons. And we always say, you know, there are good reasons, bad reasons, ugly reasons, right? But boy, now we're giving them a second or third chance to come back and earn that high school diploma.
And that's why Highlands is so important. That's what makes me nervous about some of the legislation that's happening right now, where they're saying that if you're over the age of 24, you won't be able to go get your high school diploma. When the average 29, and I'm finally ready to get it together, but there's no opportunities for me because I'm 5 years removed from my last chance. Isn't that
You
crazy?
hit the nail on the head. You know, I was reading something recently that talked about rites of passage. You know, what I haven't done, getting your GED is a rite of passage. You know, it's something, and especially
No, not the GED, high school diploma.
high school diploma is a rite of passage. And what's so important about specifically educational rites of passage is that nobody can take it from you.
Right.
Once you have it, you have it. You can't get untrained on something.
Right.
You know, other things can get taken away, but once you go through Highlands, you have that piece of paper, it can never be taken away.
And a GED counts towards your high
Yes,
school diploma.
it
So
does.
if you have a GED, you can take your credits from GED. And so how many credits do you get from a GED?
Well, man, it's most people that come back are so darn close to. We require 200 credits to graduate, 100 academic and 100 elective / CTE. And the GED, if you pass all 5 sections, that's right around 75 credits that will be basically taken from the 200 in your quest to get down to basically I need 0 credits to graduate. And so the opportunities are there, and it's, you know, it's just, it's, Jay made a perfect statement. When they're ready to get going with their life, right? And usually their children are their motivators behind that. Now they have kids that are 7 or 8, they're going to school, and man, wow, Dad, you didn't ever finish school. Why do I have to go to school? And you're like, okay, boy. And we've had those stories where they talked about, I can't even look at them and tell them a lie that I never finished school, and then tell them to go to school without me going back to school and earning my high school diploma. And so it really, and we have those stories all over the place. And it's, you know, they come back for different reasons, but mostly it's better job, opportunities for a better job, to qualify for a better job. And then they want to be a great role model for their kids.
All right, you're tuned into 97.5 KDEE. We are Sacramento's #1 community radio station. 916-844-2283 is Highlands number. If you want to get your life in order, get there. We have Uzoma, and Melanie in the studio. Eco Alpha is their company. They are engineers and scientists, and they are on the cutting edge of what tomorrow was going to look like. And they have a training program that that's being offered to our community. March 31st is the cutoff date. They only have 10 spots available.
Okay, let me ask a question real quick on this program. Is it safe to say that you're going to train people to show them how to save other people money through energy?
Absolutely. And just FYI, just from a larger umbrella aspect of making money in entrepreneurship, that's the best way to make money, is think about how you can make other people money. And I literally say that we hire a lot of people, we work with a lot of people nationwide, and one of the first things I ask people when it comes to us, whether it be entrepreneurial advice, is how can you make or save other people money? If you can't answer that question, people tune out really quickly.
You know, we don't have that much time left, believe it or not. We're almost done with this show. So I want people to know, I'm gonna give you the number to call, because I think, you know, I know the audience. They'll respond better and quicker to a phone number than they will to a website. So 916
945-3604.
916
945-3604.
916.
945-3604.
Call today, you guys. Find out about the program, get involved, take advantage of the opportunities that we put in front of you, because there's not a KDEE in every city in this state.
And that's one make one more point, exposure. You know, we are a minority woman-owned business. Melanie is our CEO, leads the charge. If you want, if you're trying to expand your wings, not just getting out there and making more money in this energy grant program, but exposure. The people that we're bringing to bear, the people that are hiring, that are coming to this program, that we see you just physically being in the classroom, exposure to people like Melanie, so you can get more insight. Really key.
Where will the training take place?
The training will take place at 428 J Street, lower level 10, Sacramento, California, right in Delco Commons.
Okay, great. So it's right downtown. We're asking you all to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you. So, you guys have always supported the chamber. Let me tell you, Mike, when we did the Everybody Pitch In campaign, the first people to contribute was Eco Alpha, and they wrote us a check for $500. And just so that you guys know, 25 businesses from across the state were able to get business grants because of what you guys did.
It's fantastic.
And so, when I say across the state, from Solano County, Stockton, Fresno, Bakersfield, and Antelope Valley out in Southern California. 25 small businesses were able to get business grants that we were able to give to different chambers because of the help that you guys did.
We love doing that, and we believe in the city, we believe in the town and the city, and we're very action oriented. So we're about getting it done, and if you're trying to get something done in your life with regards to a new career path, sign up for the energy grant.
We'll see you guys next week on It's Never Too Late. My name is Jay King.
Mike Bressler.
In the building. We'll see you guys next week, 2 o'clock from 2 to 3 every Thursday. It's never too late. Get your life in order. Great job,
Thank you
Mike.
so much.
Okay, you guys, I gotta go to
No.
traffic jams, KD.